Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special holiday edition episode of the Minutes of Mindfulness series. I am your host, JC Conway, and as always, we are incredibly grateful to have you here. Thank you for spending a little bit of time with us today during your busy holiday season. We know that the holidays can be super hectic, but we think we have an awesome episode for you today because today what we want to talk about is how to stay mindful during the holidays because we know they can definitely get stressful from time to time. So how can we be mindful during the holidays? Well, I think it starts with observing whatever the heck's going on in your head, as it usually always does, right? We talk about this all the time from week to week. It's about seeing what's going on in our mind. But the holidays can be particularly tricky because our family is involved. Now, we all love our family. I know I love my family more than anything in the world. But for some reason, our family seems to trigger us more often than anyone else in the world. But that's okay because we can use mindfulness to keep ourselves from falling into those old patterns of frustration or stress or resentment or whatever it might be for you. So during the holiday season, I really encourage you to be mindful of the stories that you're telling yourself. During this time of year in particular, our brain gets really good at telling us stories about ourselves, about how we did this year, about our family, about what we want, about what we don't have yet. If we are mindful of these stories as they come up, as they arise each day, then they're going to have less pull on us. But if we're absorbed in these stories, if we believe everything that we think, if we believe all the crazy stories that our mind tells us, then we're going to suffer because we're going to want things to be different. This is why it is so important for us to meditate or to write down our thoughts or to at least observe our thoughts in some different way. If we don't know the stories that are going on in our head, all of a sudden we're starting to play out those stories. If we don't observe the thoughts that are happening on a regular basis in our mind about our family, about our friends, or what about maybe what I have to do after work, about this present I have to go buy, whatever it might be, if we're not observing the stories about those thoughts, those stories then control us. But here's the cool thing. Once you know the stories that you have on a regular basis, you get the freedom to then choose which stories you want to believe. So you can literally change your intention for the rest of the holiday season to being one of acceptance and abundance. Like imagine if you approached this holiday season with openness instead of closedness. Imagine if you approach this holiday season not dreading what you think might happen, but just allowing whatever does happen to happen. Imagine a holiday season where you didn't believe all the stories you tell yourself about your mom or your dad or your brother, and instead of telling your stories about this person, you just let them be. Imagine how much easier that would be for you because you're not trying to hold on to this story. So for the next few weeks, I encourage you guys, think of the stories that you're telling yourself. Observe those stories, write them down. Are those stories about the holiday seasons in general, or are there stories about a particular person? Whatever it is, once we see the stories that we're telling ourselves on a regular basis, we can then change the stories because we don't buy into the ones that we don't like. So with that, guys, we hope you have an amazing holiday season. We'll see you one more time before Christmas and then another time before the New Year's. And then we are running off into 2019. Super excited about that. Thank you guys, as always, for watching. We hope you have an amazing week. We hope you have an amazing holiday season. And we'll see you next Sunday for our 44th episode of the Minutes of Mindfulness. Until then, stay mindful, master those stories, stay blessed, and we'll see you then. Thanks.